What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by my channel, Esteemed Queen and Mentality. Be sure that you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below so that way you get to know when I post all of my tea talks. I hope everybody is doing all right. You know, we had a hurricane come through, open up some front doors and back doors. It wasn't too bad on this part. We were able to maintain our power being on, so I was just thankful for that. So but yeah, me and the pet child are good to go, so I definitely appreciate you all checking on us. Outside of that, like I said, I hope all y'all are doing well and y'all are safe and y'all have your power back, literally and figuratively. And most of all, y'all already know, I hope y'all are thriving and what? Surviving. Okay, what the? Okay, I'm sitting here. Oh, that was the iPad. Okay. Anyhow, I'm not going to tarry too long because I have a couple of different things I am doing for Dream Academy today, as well as I have some other plans and other things I got going on and popping ton. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, get your water, get your wine, get whatever it is that you sipping on, get it and bring it close. Come on. It is Monday and I should not be this tired. But if you are feeling as if like your energy is leaving your body, but you know you've been productive, then the reason why you're tired or you're feeling exhausted or you don't feel as if like you're at your highest, you know what I'm saying, it's because there has been some progress made. There has been some progress made behind the scenes in order for it to be seen from other people's point of view. You know, two people can have the same make and model vehicle, but they can have two separate reasons as to why it is that they went and got it. One can use it as luxury as a weekend vehicle, and someone else can feel like this is a trophy. In result of me being able to get what I want accomplished so I can have this. So like you we need to talk about progression. It doesn't always come in the format, in the dress, in the envelope, on the check stub, how we envision it to be for us. We still have to put in the work in order for us to go to the spiritual bank and say, can I get a loan for this half of what I'm trying to accomplish, because I'm bringing this to the table. And so we need to have a tea talk about that, because sometimes I forget that I'm a little bit ahead of my time, especially when it comes to wisdom and retaining it and using it. So definitely go ahead, get your water, get your wine, because this is definitely a tea talk we need to talk about. I think I kind of already gave kind of like a synopsis when I did the last video. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. But needless to say, if that is the case, then we can go ahead and skip that first acronym, the first letter of the acronym. Y'all love these acronym tea talks. All right, so I hope you got your pen and your paper. Go ahead and get your notepads out. All right, so we're going to go ahead and turn to the P's first. And it's so crazy because we're actually like rewriting like a healthy way of looking at certain words. I don't know. Excuse me. But anyhow, come on, get your books out. We need that pep talk to pick us up. We need that. That's when we feel tired. When we feel as if like we need a break, there has been some progress. Turn to your neighbor and say, progress. There has been some progress done. All right, some progress made. So you're not always going to feel the most energetic when you're trying to get something done. So you should expect for there to be some type of energy being used for you to have something to show for why you want what you want. You did. So when I spoke of foresight, you know, that also goes in perspective of the P, is potential. What is it that you can actually, you know, see for yourself being done right where you're at? in your circumstance, in your situation? How can you get out of where you are and do something that can catapult you to the next level, based off of where you're standing now and where you want to go, and the probability of it being something that you can obtain and you can get done. All right, there's other factors into that, but I think 4 was the video I kind of put the Vaseline on you before we had this conversation, you know. And so sometimes we don't like the progress being that, part of the progress being that we're tired, but part of the progress is trying to reach whatever accomplishment you set for yourself or goal you set for yourself. So you can't expect everything for nothing. You have to look forward and know how you're going to be able to project yourself to those areas, to reach those heights. All right, goes right into number 2, goes right into the R, reality. Okay, don't sell me no wood. Don't sell me no wolf ticket. Don't sell me no BS. Don't try to go through the drive-through, get my order for my meal, and think not, I'm going to ask for a receipt. Reality is, all right, where you're standing. What is your biggest problem to date? Now, if it's a money issue, I understand. But we have hands, we have art, we have things that we can do to be able to press some oil from somewhere to help us get by or get through. But there's another part of reality where it's almost as if, like, let's think of it like this, like low key, someone in the suburbs, they're good, they ain't got to worry about nothing, but they ultimately are attracted to the dark life, right? Reality is, suburb boy was better off staying in the neighborhood of where he lived versus going across town and getting into something he's not normally part of the scene for. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful of what doors you want to open. You got to be careful of what type of can lids you want to surprise yourself with, because you never know. You never know. So when it comes to reality, again, it comes to when you're starting to gauge where you want to go from where you're standing, you definitely have to be aware of your surroundings. Are you adapting? Are you not? Are you trying to excel, or are you trying to stay retained in that same situation, in that same mind frame, in those same distractions? So if you can understand the difference between potential and reality, find out where you are in the middle, and you know for sure what you want, it's going to be something that's for the betterment of you and whoever is coming up behind you. That comes to the O for opportunity. You need the understanding of potential and reality for you to understand how opportunity can happen for you and how it can be achievable. You have to be realistic. Even though you're talking about your potential being, seen down the line, sometimes it is better for you not to trash talk and for you to win first. Trust me, I'm one of them people. Don't come over here with no pom-poms and no t-shirts. No, this ain't Pop Warner no more. Okay? In reality, talk is cheap. Talk is real cheap. But if you actually have something to back it up that's accrediting, there is no conversation unless you know on that level how to talk about it. You dig? And when it comes to potential and reality, when it comes to you talking about how you want to progress, you have to carry that same energy I just said in that last sentence. You feel me? Because no one's going to take you serious first. No one's going to take you serious secondly if you don't take yourself serious first. So, goes right into G. Grit, baby. Progressing is never going to be clean, and it's damn sure never going to be easy. Period. Moving on. The R. Sometimes we do have to recalibrate. Trust me when I tell you, I'm a person, I do not like taking days off. But if I could just give you like an inkling of a preview of what my day consists of on a daily basis and how much I try to put in all at one time, you will literally ask me, when do you sleep? I don't know. Okay, I just drink my water and mind my business, and I try not to complain, and it's been working for me. So I don't know, maybe that's what you need to try. I'm just saying, get your purifier. But at the end of the day, if you know what you're going towards and you know what you're putting that grit in for, you're exerting that energy for, I mean, it is what it is. You're going to have days when you need to recalibrate, and sometimes, you know, your recalibration, let's go back here. When we talk about recalibrate, it's just like you're going to go take your car to a calibrator, like a mechanic, right? And so what happens is they give you a second opinion on your speedometer as far as how fast, you know, you're going, whatever. When I was working with an attorney, he used to always tell folks who got speeding tickets, go ahead and get your car calibrated, so then that way, if they saying you was doing 48 in a 35, and we rev it all the way up to 48, and we see that really in you know, in reality, though you may clock them at 48 miles per hour, the calibration of the RPMs at that same whatchamacallit, when we did it as a mechanic, a professional, certified, he won't even busting out at 38. So that helps their case be able to get reduced, or if not thrown out, especially if they go to the AAA, you know, quick driver class, whatever, and then they may, you know, take it from a misdemeanor down to like an infraction. So, you know what I'm saying? There's a little tidbit. But the point of me saying all that is because we're going to take that same calibration, and metaphorically, what I'm telling you is it's okay to take a day or two off. Like I told one of my tea talkers, you call me on some shiz naive saying that, why am I late? Why am I not hurrying? And why is it, you know, it's taking so long? I tell folks quick. I'm humble enough to tell folks quick, go ahead and start without me. Go ahead. You know, just, I don't mean to be an ass about it. I don't mean to be, you know, mean about it, but, you know, don't let me in my lane stop you from doing what you need to do. Adjust to me later, you know what I'm saying? But if it's so much so that you can't sit tight or whatever the case may be, I've been here for this long, you know I'm reliable, you can't wait, you waiting on me to show up, it's not your show. It's not fully your show. It's a whole team effort, okay? And you can't be a team without everyone there. So if it takes time, I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. Just know I'm going to show up. And sometimes people need to like recalibrate in different areas. Sometimes it's distractions. We need to gauge what we pay attention to and what it is that we give our attention to, because either way you look at it, it's like a seedling. And when we don't really pay attention to what we give our time to, we will find that we will subtract time from the things that we needed to do the things that feel like guilty pleasures. And so you have to recalibrate. You have to bring yourself back. It's just like a vacation, but with an actual meaning to it, you know? So when you recalibrate, you deal with your distractions, you deal with the detours, you know, you deal with disasters, you deal with all of that without discernment, not, you know, not knowing too much of what's going to come, but you've gauged yourself enough to know real quickly, you know, with that recalibration, what to take forth and what to leave behind. It's almost like a smoke break, bitch. Newports have been saving Huffers from getting yoked up at work since 1970. I may be wrong on that date, but you get what I'm saying. I'm just saying for all the other ones out here, us in the ganja. But go on. You know what I'm saying? We get to a place where we got to have that smoke break. You got to walk off. I'm already ripping the paper in half. I ain't even get to the door. But yet, what happens after you get that first hit of menthol? Now, look, I would applaud everyone to go more for food when they feel stressful. But I understand the times. I'm going to put that disclaimer in here. Let me check my time, because you see I got my get up on. Got to get myself together pretty soon. I got to go tutor my children. Not my children. Y'all know I ain't got no kids. But, yeah. Because, you know, it's that time of the year. So, anyhow, you know, you get a couple hits of that menthol, you done came so far the hell down, you damn near almost forgot you were at work. If you that type of kumbaya person where, you know, you real slow to get hot-headed, but as soon as you get hot-headed and time to pass on, I'll come back from this damn smoke break, I'm going to be a new woman. Just give it to me. You know what I'm saying? So, that's when you recalibrate, right? And so when you go back in from a situation happening, what happens? You now want to talk with a level head because you've had a breather, and you want to rectify things where it works for everybody on both ends. That's what recalibration is. Well, next time someone wants to haul off and call your bluff and call you not to be articulate, they piss you off, don't say, I need to go take my break. No, I need to recalibrate. Okay? When a heifer hauls off and comes out her mouth and says, you know what? I need to go recalibrate. If they don't know what that means, then they definitely need to take 10 and grab them a dictionary while they at it. Because all you're doing is readjusting your level so you can go into something and know that you can come out with a resolution without always going to combat. It's emotional maturity at its best. Go back into the Tea Talks. Look it up. I've done something on that too. E goes right back into R, just like O goes into the R into the P. Okay. E is equilibrium. You need to have balance. When you're balanced, you can stand in the line at Barnes and Noble for half the day. We all know how slow they lines are. Home Depot lines, Lowe's lines. We know how long Costco's, BJ's. You need balance. We all need balance. I need balance. You need balance. We all need balance. Okay? Everybody needs to get balanced. But it's all about the pace. Because some people will really think you hauling ass even though you know you power walking. Go at the pace where you can keep steady. You know, you study on a certain night. You know, you pull out certain books for you to study on certain days, certain nights. You remember, you know, to keep your teeth sharpened. You do certain exercises before or after you get ready, before you go to bed. Maybe you meditate, but you do something that makes you feel so like woosah without the spa. Okay? Like, for instance, for me, Hobby Lobby is like that. Any type of craft store, like, it's a cloud for me. Like, that's what your balance should feel like. What's your balance? What makes you feel like you're floating on clouds? Pause. No pun intended. But you know what I'm saying. Like, you know, men, fellas, you know, y'all go to a nice old hardware store. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Certain Home Depots and Lowe's be hitting on some good stuff. I be in there learning a bit as I'm going. Look, I'm getting. But you see what I'm saying? When you find that spot, women, some of y'all may like to garden. All right. Some of y'all may very well like to do, you know, I don't know. 'Cause I don't do girly stuff too much. I'm sorry. But you have whatever it is that makes you feel like one whole, not two halves. That's what I'm talking about. So we need to understand a lot goes into our power walk. A lot goes into making sure we stay that fluid to be advantageous, to take care of that, to have that speed. Because Speed has a lot to do with before you go to the spiritual bank and ask for some type of assistance. They're going to want to see some type of commitment. You know, you talking about something you want to do A, B, C, D, F, G, but it requires you to be fit, and only thing that's fit is your life. Just saying. Goes right into number 7. That first S, self-love. Took me forever to understand it. It took me forever to, it just took me forever to understand it. I ain't gonna lie. But once I got familiar with what it was I was missing, it was a lot easier for me to, firm up those soft spots. We're not going to say weaknesses. We're going to say soft spots. And when they started to firm up, it goes right into the second S, all right? And that goes into like a soldier mind, a survival fitted mindset. And it's because if you really take a look at what you've learned out of what you went through, and yet you are able to see that you have something of a note taken from what you've been through, it's almost like you reading a whole book, or you're reading a chapter, but you got to write the summary. Every time you do something with progress, that's how it should be. That's how it should end. Which the summary, and for me, I look at chapters as like birth years. So it's like in chapter, such and such, what did you learn? Because that's going to show your progress into how far you're going to go and how much of you has been required for you to understand that versus how much you had to leave behind, and was it worth it? Because not only you working on your progress daily, that also makes your self-stock go up. All right. Because at the end of the day, do you want pity or do you want prosperity? And I'm just not talking about in material things. Okay, prosperity is peace, prosperity is success, but which one matters the most? As you're moving forward with all this progression, you need to make sure that you don't run towards the stigma of what people say is the definition of success. Stick to the rivers and lakes that you used to, and take your time. Regardless if you like to, power walk, nature walk, in the words of Captain Planet, the power is yours. But what do you do with it, And it does make sense when you think about it, are you looking for pity or prosperity? Because sometimes people will walk slow just so they can feel like they're in the center of attention. It's like, dude, like, this is not a museum. All right, so I'm gonna need for you to pick up the pace, because you moving just like us, but you moving so dead ass slow. I don't know if you trying to trip me up or you trying to pull a perk. I don't know, but I'm telling you something. Perk is the last thing you gonna need. So I'm gonna need for you to pick up your speed or get left on. And if you get left on, don't be upset at the speed of your success coming in, if it comes in, because the speed of your feet and the artisticity in your work is going to say how long you're going to last with what you want to do. It's almost like the architecture, the structure of a house. You know what I'm saying? Like, the hurricane can blow your shit all over. It can try its best to just suck you through the window, but guess what? When the structure is good, when the bones are good, it's hard for that house to waver. Please, really? And we got to look at progress the same way. Consider all of this a report. These are all things that you should be looking at when it comes down to every chapter in your life and what it is that what you want to summarize about what you've learned. Because that also contributes to your well-roundedness. So, hopefully that helps people. Hopefully that helps someone. Excuse me. Like I said, prosperity is a number of things. And it's also dependent on who you are, how you live in, and you know what you have in mind for the long haul. A lot of people try to live shortly, shortly minded, because there is no foresight. But when you actually have a plan, you understand progress is going to be required. And so once when you know what's required up front, there is no complaints once you get started. All right, just make the progress. Make the turn to your neighbor. Progress. Go ahead, close your Bibles. I hope to see y'all some other time. All right, I got things to do, people to go and see, little kids to make new future leaders for tomorrow. But I'm definitely going to be on the lookout in the cookout for y'all's comments in the chat. Y'all let me know down below, what was your previous chapter summary? What did you learn in your last chapter, in your last season, in your last year? I think it's very important for people to congratulate when credit is given and due. So no matter what you go through, no matter how grit and nasty it gets, no matter how agitated it may become for you, be sure that you like, share, and subscribe down below, so then that way you can come on over here, and then that way we all can chit chat and talk. I think one of the best characteristics I found about myself throughout everything with me learning about progression is that a lot of people say, for someone who's been through a lot, you don't look it. And then on top of you not looking it, you funny as hell when you be trying to be serious. It's the voice and the commentary for me. And I'm just like, look, I don't know. I don't know. And sometimes the best formula is the one that's not given. Just keep doing what you're doing. And so, yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm coming from a place of love, concern, and also the fact of it's been in my head for the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to leave this here and then I got to go. What don't kill you makes you stronger. I felt that. I'll talk to y'all later. Stay safe. Wash your hands, including your thumbs, bitch. And yeah. And don't buy all the Reese's Pieces this Halloween season. Thank you.